And players, we ask that you start to up and get prepared for our Senior Day ceremony.
Yo. No, they're about to. Yeah, it started. Yeah. Yeah. Should be good, right? You see? Says we're live. Alright, cool, cool. Yeah. Alright, peace.
Good afternoon and welcome to Morristown Beard's Burke Field, where our girls lacrosse team takes on Millburn High School. At this time, we would just like to congratulate the seniors from Millburn High School and wish them the best of luck in all of their future endeavors. Congratulations. Now, let's honor the seniors from MBS. Number 7, Lauren Cope. Lauren has been a dedicated member of the MBS lacrosse program for 4 years, all at the varsity level. As an attacker, Lauren's skill, determination, and leadership have been key to our team's success. Lauren is also a varsity volleyball athlete and shines off the field as a member of the debate team, Reboot Club, and an honor roll student. Her ability to balance academics, athletics, and leadership is nothing short of inspiring. Next year, Lauren will continue her journey at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Lauren, thank you for everything you've brought to MBS. We are proud of you and excited to see all you've accomplished. She is joined today by her proud parents, Julie and Paul Cope. Thank you both for your support. Congratulations, number 7, Lauren Cope. Number 24, Rebecca Leonard. Rebecca, one of the most accomplished and dynamic student athletes to come through our girls lacrosse program. Rebecca has been a varsity lacrosse player for all 4 years, and this year proudly serves as one of our captains. A true midfielder in every sense, she has led both our school and one of the top state leaders in points. Her current career stats are nothing short of remarkable. 219 total points, 147 goals, 72 assists, 152 ground balls, 260 draw controls, and 61 forced turnovers. Her impact is seen not only in the numbers, but in the way she controls the game, lifts her teammates, and leads by example. Rebecca is a three-sport varsity athlete competing in soccer, basketball, and winter track, in addition to playing club lacrosse for Dulac. Off the field, Rebecca continues to lead. She is the founder and leader of the Comfort Project 360 Club, a peer leader. Next year, Rebecca will be taking her incredible talent, leadership, and drive to Elon University, where she will be playing Division I lacrosse. You have set the bar high, not only through your stats and accomplishments, but through the way you have carried yourself every day. Today, she is joined by her proud parents, Mark and Nicole Leonard, and her brother, Ethan. Thank you to her family for your unwavering support. Congratulations, number 24, Rebecca Leonard. Number 29, Jess Byrne. Jess is a standout defender who has been a core part of our lacrosse program for the past 4 years, all at the varsity level and serving as one of our captains this year. Jess brings the same dedication to everything she does, from playing varsity soccer and basketball to captaining her STA club soccer team and leading as a peer leader and Comfort Project club member. She's also an active part of our athletic leadership council, showing her commitment to supporting teammates and our community. Next year, Jess will be attending Providence College. Your leadership, toughness, and heart have made a lasting impact on MBS. She is joined today by her mom, Stephanie. Thank you for being such a supporter of Jess's journey the past 4 years. Congratulations, number 29, Jess Byrne. Number 35, Caroline Price. Caroline is a dedicated and hardworking defender who has been a part of the MBS lacrosse program for 4 years, including 2 strong years on the varsity team. Caroline is a multi-sport varsity athlete competing in tennis and basketball. Off the field, she brings that same dedication to her leadership roles as blood drive captain and vice president of Crimson Cares, making a meaningful impact in our school community. Next year, Caroline will head to Southern Methodist University. Caroline, thank you for your commitment, kindness, and leadership. You've brought so much to our program and school, and we can't wait to see what's next for you. Today, she is joined by her proud family, Sandy and Blair Price, and brother Grant. Congratulations, number 35, Caroline Price. Number 40, Evangeline Lisk. Evangeline is a dedicated defender who has also been a part of the MBS Girls Lacrosse program for 4 years, with the last 2 on varsity. Evie is a strong presence on the field, bringing focus, grit, and determination every time she steps out to play. She's also a multi-sport athlete, having played field hockey and basketball and varsity girls hockey, showing her versatility and team-first mindset. Off the field, Evie is just as impressive. She is our prep scholar athlete, and for her senior project, she's contributing to coral restoration efforts in the Bahamas, a perfect match for her love of nature and the outdoors. Next year, she'll take on a new challenge, studying astronautical engineering at Virginia Tech. Evie, thank you for your spirit, your intellect, and the quiet strength you bring to everything you do. We are so proud of you. Evie is joined today by her mom, Gabriella Romano, and her sister, Viviana. Thank you both for your support. Congratulations, number 40, Evangeline Lisk. Number 44, Haley Tannen. Haley is a dedicated and impactful defender who has been with the MBS lacrosse program for all 4 years and 4 years on varsity, proudly serving as one of our captains this year. Haley is also a standout leader off the field. She serves as the president of both the Math Club and the Architecture and Engineering Club, showcasing her leadership and passion for academics. In addition, she's been part of our girls soccer and varsity winter track programs during her time at MBS, balancing sports, academics, and clubs with incredible dedication. Next year, Haley will be attending Clemson University. Haley, thank you for your leadership, determination, and the example you have set for your younger teammates and peers. We are so proud of everything you have accomplished. Today, she is joined by her proud family, her mom, Missy, her dad, Scott, and sisters, Sophie and Brooke. Congratulations, number 44, Haley Tannen. Congratulations to all the members of our class of 2025 MBS Girls Lacrosse Program. Good luck in today's game.
Morristown Baird School in Morristown, New Jersey. Welcome from Play-by-Play Productions. It's Senior Day 2025 for the Morristown Baird Crimson girls lacrosse team as they take on the Millburn Millers on a beautiful afternoon. Hello and welcome. Ralph Bednarchik on hand. The Crimson in at 2-4. They play a league game. They're 1-0 in the New Jersey Girls Lacrosse League Independence White Division against Millburn, who enters at 3-4. Also in the Independence White, they are 0-1 on the season. And for MBS, they're starting to get healthier at the right time, and they come in taking on a Millburn program that has been pretty solid recently. They've gone to first rounds of the North 2 Group 3 tournament each of the last 3 years, losing to perennial power Chatham. But they've made appearances in the Essex County tournament first round as well, and it's a younger group for Millburn that's trying to develop. They have a lot of seniors starting and first-year starters among them that's trying to come together at the right time and peak getting into May. Meanwhile, for Morristown Baird, they celebrated 6 seniors before the game in our Senior Day ceremony that you'll be able to watch on demand for this one. Meanwhile, for the Crimson, as they come in under first-year head coach Lindsay Lafferman, trying to rebound from a pair of losses to Pequannock and Notre Dame, after picking up a victory 13-11 back-and-forth game against DePaul. Promises to be a pretty good one. Last year, Morristown Baird jumped out early on Millburn on the road 5-0 before the Millers made a furious comeback, ended up winning the game in regulation 12-11. And the Millers last year, with their second straight 8-11 season, and for their freshman class, they experienced an 0-18 year, and they love to get back to the North 2 Group 3 tournament and come up with a quality finish. Millers also come in off of consecutive losses, including an overtime loss earlier this week against Governor Livingston, a game that they were not able to close out after a 19-11 loss at Pequannock. They've also played a pretty good schedule, taking on a Group 4 program that's good in all sports, Ridge, in Game 3 on April the 8th. In a competitive battle by Millburn, losing 8-4. For head coach Samantha Parlavecchio of Millburn, she's in her 3rd season as the head coach. Sofia Skalaktos is in her 2nd year as a starter. 63 saves this year, 133 last year. 6 saves last year in the victory by the Millers. Starting defensively, it'll be a group of seniors: Ellis Lombardi, senior Emily Blumhoff, and senior Juliana Ferraro. And then making her first start at low D is sophomore Alexa Rinsky. Then the low attack, the Chang twins, Ali Chang and Ella Chang, with senior Ava Guzman and sophomore Claire Bellotti. The first midfield with Samantha Ryder and Brooke Skinner, both seniors, and junior Casey Sist. And for Morristown Baird in goal, Alyssa Benbassat will make the start in cage, and she's a first full-year starter, 3 years on the varsity. Millburn with possession, and we're underway with the Millers in the white and blue numbers. Crimson and their familiar crimson over crimson. Beautiful conditions to get this one going today. Game top temperature is about 78 degrees, and a little hotter, of course, on the turf field. Millburn averaging 11.6 goals per game, and led by their low attack group with the Chang twins and Ava Guzman. And how can the supporting cast start to grow and develop? Go through the Morristown Baird starters in a moment. As here's the sweep left from Casey Sist, and that pass a little too high for Ella Chang, and Chang will recover. Chang, the 3rd leading scorer on the season. Alexandra Chang, the leading scorer with 14-3. And the shooting of Claire Bellotti is the leading scorer with 16-4 for Millburn. And for Morristown in the low D, senior Jess Byrne, a 4-year starter, and the leader of the group there with 5'9" senior Caroline Price, senior Evie Lisk, and senior Haley Tannen. As that ball turned over and picked up here by Rebecca Leonard. And Leonard with the outlet as the Crimson look to transition and push the pace. Here's Hannah Mortazavi. It's Leonard in the first midfield with Kira Walsifer and Reed Snyder as that ball fed into the 8-meter and turned over with Reed Snyder, the first midfield. Then the low attack with Aiden Varbero, Hannah Mortazavi, senior Lauren Keff, and freshman Lexi Sandrian. And we'll see a lot of Hannah Greller as well fly on to play either attack or midfield. So Millburn able to come up with the takeaway. As that's a ball knocked down and recovered by Chang. And with Millburn trying to move the ball and use all 7 players well. Feed to the 8-meter on the sweep and the shot. And back up will belong to MBS. So a decent look on the sweep, but no one was back behind. So Alyssa Benbasat is able to come up and win the race to the end line. She's coming off of an 8-save performance against Notre Dame. Her season high 12 in the second game at Whippany Park. MBS searching for the clear. Walsifer. And the sophomore 2-year starter was honorable mention all division. As now the Crimson will be able to run their first true settled possession, aiming to be very balanced and everybody involved in it, no ball watching. And to spread things around in the first year, head coach Lindsay Lafferman. And as she notes, out of the goals that they have scored this year, 21 have been assisted, a total of 56 finishes. And they come in averaging as an offense 9.5 goals per game. But it's Leonard on the initiation. Leonard looking to draw and dump and feed to the crease. Walsifer had the initial opportunity on the pickup. And finally, it will be Millburn that will come up with a second cause turnover. And the Millers will look for the outlets and push ahead from Ella Chang. Chang approaching the 8. And Chang never quite got a clean shot off, and it'll lead to an 8-meter for Millburn. Last time out, Millburn had real opportunities to bury the game against Governor Livingston. They had a couple of 8-meter opportunities late. Here is Chang, and that shot, a bouncer, hits the pipe behind Benbasat. Millburn recovers. Again, no shot clock in high school girls lacrosse. That is certainly being talked about on the boys' side, perhaps even for next year, as that pass deflected by Rebecca Leonard. And chaos caused as MBS pursues aggressively. And the foul will go against MBS. So on the follow-up, Samantha Ryder. As Ryder moving over to start at midfield this year, trying to fill in some spots. Chang, feed to the front, looking for Ava Guzman. They could not connect on the pass. And an aggressive battle with Reed Snyder, the 2-time first-team All-State girls ice hockey star. She'll box out and pick up the foul. And now transition for the Crimson. And Snyder is able to outlet ahead. She's scored 2 goals already. Just a tremendous athlete with game sense. Lauren Kopf. And Kopf will probe. And the Crimson with their second true possession. No score midway through this opening quarter. Leonard on the take as Leonard looked for the shovel shot. And Millburn is able to collapse again defensively. And we may be getting our first card coming out. So it is going to be a yellow. That will be shown to Rebecca Leonard. So that's an important early one against the MBS leading scorer and 4-year starter. Leonard with 13 goals and 9 assists. So she'll have to be ultra careful the rest of this one upon re-entering. And Millburn issues in the clear, and MBS will come up with a ground ball. So the pickup, and on the handle was Lexi Sadrian. So here is MBS down a player. So they'll look to kill some clock and spread the ball. Kopf will attend school next year at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Wonderful campus. I've had the occasion of visiting. Kopf, a 4-year player, 3-year starter on attack. This one shoveled outside for Sadrian. And MBS still with time to kill. About another 20 seconds. As Millburn will commit the foul. Millburn led by 3 senior low defenders. Ellis Lombardi, a 2-year starter. Emily Blumhoff has played a lot. First full-year starter, and 2-year starter Juliana Ferrero. And they're all multi-sport athletes that know one another and play one another through soccer and in the spring season. As that ball, it will be turned over by MBS. So Millburn will look for a clean clear and work through their goalie in Sofia Skalkotos. And Millersville through the middle, Ferrero. As Ferrero is chased, varsity soccer, basketball, and Ferrero also playing flag football this springtime. That is allowed in some states. New York just disallowed it, where you have to choose a sport in the spring. But the first 2 years of flag football, you could play both. Save is made on the step down, on the sneak. Ava Guzman shooting high to high, and the first save for Alyssa Benbasat. And now MBS will get Rebecca Leonard back on the field and look for a clear. A calm stick from senior Jess Byrne to work it ahead for Walsifer, but then Walsifer's pass knocked down. And again, a good active stick from Ferraro. And finally, Morristown Baird will settle as we'll hit the 4-minute mark of this opening quarter. Senior Day 2025 for 6 MBS seniors. One of which, Rebecca Leonard, will be playing at the next level, a signee with Elon in the Coastal Athletic Association, previously known as the Colonial Athletic Association, with programs like Hofstra, National Power, Stony Brook, that used to have James Madison, who's won a recent national championship. Delaware has moved from it. Pass in front, and Skalkotos is able to come up with a knockdown, active stick from the sophomore Sofia Skalkotos, not just helping her defenders, but almost coming up with the takeaway herself. And even when goalies will wave their stick at the crease attacker, that helps out your defense greatly. And there she was able to come up with a knockdown and nearly a clean pick. Ali Chang. As Chang gets back to her right hand, and Alexandra Chang will start the scoring. Well, the two Changs, they love lacrosse. Alexandra will be a student next year at Bucknell. Ella will attend somewhere else. Their dad had played in high school, and they have loved the sport. Both also playing ice hockey, so of course that helping so much as an attacker in terms of how to create angles for yourself. Alexandra Chang makes it 1-0 Millburn. Last year, honorable mention all division after being a second teamer as a sophomore. 15th of the season for Alexandra Chang. And off the draw, Leonard. And Leonard came up with it cleanly and picks up the foul from her Dulax Club teammate Ava Guzman as they exchange pleasantries before the game. And Guzman would likely match up from Millburn, I think, often with Leonard. So MBS again trying to come up with a quality possession. The last one was knocked down by Sofia Skalkotos. Walsifer given the clear out. And Walsifer picks up the foul. And that should be, based on the lines I'm looking at, that should be inside for an 8-meter for sophomore Kira Walsifer. Walsifer finished last year as a freshman as the program's third leading scorer. Takes it from an angle, and Walsifer is able to finish. A precision shot. There wasn't a lot of room to shoot short side on Sofia Skalkotos, but Walsifer does, and the game is tied at 1. Walsifer converting on free position. And she is one of a handful of MBS players that play travel lacrosse. She plays for Building Blocks Lacrosse. And just so quick and agile, even when you know she's right-handed. And we saw a bit of that as the Millburn player no doubt even was anticipating that she was going to go right. Call off the circle, and Jess Byrne aggressively, or rather Reed Snyder will come up with the ground ball. Tied at 1 under the final 2 minutes of this opening quarter. Leonard has yet to really initiate and get involved. Leonard coming off of a 1-goal, 2-assist game in the loss to Notre Dame, 5-1 in the back and forth win on the road at DePaul Catholic. Leonard last year, a goal and 3 assists against this Millburn program. Leonard on the ISO, drawn dump inside, and the finish. Leonard able to release the ball very quickly and find an open teammate, and that's Hannah Mortazavi. So MBS will take the lead at 2-1. So Mortazavi able to just find space and cut to where the defense wasn't. Second team All-State starting goalie this year. Already 1,000 career saves after being first team All-State 2 years ago as a freshman. Leonard on the assist. And Hannah Mortazavi, known for having really good hands. It's her 6th of the season. And just like Chang, Alexandra Chang, and Ella Chang on the other end, able to translate so many concepts from ice hockey to lacrosse, Mortazavi simply cutting to the vacated spot. Swooping in for the ground ball is Leonard. And the Crimson, for the final minute of the first quarter, looking to add to the lead. Sadrian goes to the jump shot, and able to keep that out is Skalkotos. So Sofia Skalkotos going down to make sure that the ball did not trickle underneath her. But then her clearing pass is rushed out of bounds. She was looking for Ellis Lombardi. And Morristown Baird will have it. Clock still moving, 35 seconds left in the first. On the sweep from behind, Skalkotos looks to challenge. Sweeping all the way across, and with great patience, Aiden Varbero is on the board for the first time. 3-1 Crimson. So Varbero, who has been playing and trying to get herself fully healthy, showing immense patience. That's her 8th of the season. She's missed 4 games, the last 4 games due to injury. But a year ago, she was MBS's second leading scorer behind Rebecca Leonard with 68 and 13 as her first of the day. And immense patience shown from a young player in Aiden Varbero, who plays her travel lacrosse for the Center Court Lacrosse Club. That is also represented on the Millburn side. 24.8 left in the first, and MBS has put together a 3-0 run. Walsifer draws. As this holds play up, Walsifer will eventually gather. Still time for Morristown Baird. 10 seconds for Kira Walsifer. Feeding the pass ahead with 8 seconds. Feed down to the crease, and it could not be captured. Lauren Kopf had the cut. And it will expire the first quarter. Kopf was trying to provide a target for the feed, but MBS will start the second quarter in the midst of a 3-goal run. They lead Senior Day 2025 3-1 over Millburn. We're back with more MBS Girls Lacrosse Senior Day 2025 from Play by Play Productions. Start of the second quarter from Morristown Bears School. Ralph Bednarczyk on hand. From Play-by-Play Productions, the Morristown Bear Crimson leading the Millburn Millers 3-1 as we start the second quarter. Millburn got off to a good start. This game was scoreless until about 4.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Millburn finally got a goal from Alexandra Chang on a transition drive, and Millburn had the better of possession, but Morristown Baird started to turn Millburn over and then started picking up goals, followed by draw control wins. Rebecca Leonard in the circle has, of course, been highly impactful, as has Reed Snyder off the circle. And Millburn will have to find a way to come up with possessions or get some assistance from their circle. Ava Guzman will draw against Ava Leonard, so this is something that the two Dulax club teammates probably have done maybe 1,000 times. Leonard this time will extend the circle and picked up off a bounce as Walsifer. Chance for a secondary break as Walsifer is cut off there. Good defending by Juliana Ferraro. But MBS continuing to now have a stronghold on the possession, feed across, and this one does not carry through, and it's picked up by Emily Blumhoff. And Blumhoff with the outlets, and on the capture, here come the Millers with their first possession in a long time. Claire Belatti looking to get her shot going. And Belatti with 16 and 4 in the year, and Belatti is smothered by Reed Snyder. And they'll call it a turnover. Snyder relentless on the ride. No, actually they'll keep it here with Millburn. Belatti is yet to get a shot off. No, it is indeed. Thought Belatti was anticipating the same thing I was. So Ben Bassat's clearing pass handled by Sadrian. And freshman Lexi Sadrian. Great energy, plays travel across with the Steps organization that is directed by Mike Walsh, among many others from Summit High School. Leonard, as Leonard initiates, looks for the cutter, has the cutter, and the shot missed. Lauren Kopf missing on the step down. Kopf has also missed 2 games due to injury. So MBS is finally starting to get fully healthy so they can start to establish a foundation with their starting group. Leonard off the face dodge, in tight, misses the look. On the follow-up, MBS will keep it hot. Kopf, Leonard looks for the sneak. She hits the pipe with the shot. As it's swept away, and outside the 18, MBS will recover from Hannah Grella. Leonard, a senior from Short Hills, now given the ISO. And Leonard driving off of a screen, gets to her right hand. Well, Millburn did not quite communicate great on that screen, and Leonard able to turn the corner on the help defender. Leonard's first goal, and it's a 4-goal outburst for MBS. An unassisted tally there. And that'll be a concept that Millburn will have to fix whenever Leonard starts with a possession that deep, basically on the periphery or just inside the 8-meter area. Senior Ava Guzman trying to change things against Leonard. And the call will go against Guzman. Feed for Sadrian. And the Crimson will spread the ball out and have another possession. Four different goal scorers for Morristown Beard to open this one up. A year ago, they jumped on this Millburn program 5-0 after 1 quarter, but could not finish. Leonard able to get to her right, and a good help defensively that time by Millburn to force her off from Samantha Ryder, who is a 2-year starting defender and now playing as a full-time two-way midfielder. Walsifer and the flip pass for Grella. Walsifer. And Walsifer got stuck too deep on the pickup. Back to her left hand. Ended up as a bit of a broken play. And Kira Walsifer with her second. And it's a 5-goal run for the Crimson. MBS did not put much pressure on the flip pass outside at the 12. They sat back while Walsifer able to accelerate after a good defensive play by Millburn to hold her up and at least cause the loose ball. Walsifer first on it and then shows her left hand. Timeout taken by Millburn. So the Millers will talk about it as they've given up 5 straight. So on this MBS program, Lindsay Lafferman taking over as head coach for the retired Barbara Erickson, who spent the last 2 years as head coach. Erickson, noteworthy head coach at Ridge High School, a Group 4 for a long time before that. And for Lindsay Lafferman, she started the program at Pequannock High School back in 2006. And over the course of 17 seasons through 2022, over 100 career wins, and getting the program off of the ground and dealing with difficult programs like Mountain Lakes that you have to play that are well established. And she played her high school lacrosse at Smithtown West for a noteworthy coach, Ann Naughton. And one of the burgeoning activities that is occurring across the country in lacrosse is summer college leagues. And she runs the Lax On Summer College League, just like you hear about summer college soccer, where NCAA athletes will play in leagues called the USL League 2 or WPSL. That's popping up in men's and women's lacrosse, just like you'll hear about college basketball could someday even have summer leagues where the players, rather than just working out, might be getting involved in. So that's what's occurring in New Jersey. Local college players, when they're home for the summer, getting games in. So Lindsay Lafferman still very much involved greatly in the sport of lacrosse. And great to meet her assistant, Liz Morrison, who played at the University of Maryland, winning a 1986 Division I National Championship. Ava Guzman and Millburn out of the timeout. And I'd say the last 4 draw controls have been close to uncontested, won by MBS. And we'll see if Millburn can change that. And now Samantha Parlavecchio is going to change it up and put Brooke Skinner up on the draw, and Guzman now to the circle. So Guzman is on the bottom portion. And Leonard remains the draw taker for Morristown Bayard. And this time it's a chance for Guzman. And Guzman did have possession and picks up the check call against Reed Snyder, the empty head stick check call. So Millburn gets it an important possession, but the pass intercepted. A good knockdown, but then a recovery by Millburn. Good read on that pass from Aiden Barbero. And on the shot, curling in front there for the first time is Claire Bellotti. So Bellotti is the lone lefty in the Millburn lineup, and that is her strength, driving just a sophomore with her 17th of the season. And that ends the 5-goal Morristown Bayard run. And Bellotti serves as a very nice compliment for the Chang twins and Guzman. She had a 3-goal game a couple games ago at Pequannock, 6-2 on the road at Hackettstown. And last year against MBS, also scoring a goal as a freshman. Leonard off the circle. As bodies going down. Leonard, remember, is already on a yellow card. And the foul will go against Millburn and Brooke Skinner. So MBS with possession again. They had a 3-1 lead at the end of one. Leonard against Skinner, draws and dumps. What a quick stick! Well, Leonard seeing it before it was really ever open. Lexi Sandrian, the beneficiary, with the shot. 6-2 Morristown Baird. Second draw and dump assist for Rebecca Leonard. Tremendous shot from Lexi Sadrian. Known as a good finisher inside, but that is a high-level quick stick for a young player. The double barely got there on Leonard as she was just flirting with the idea of turning the corner. But Sadrian following the defender to the open spot. And MBS shooting the ball very well through a quarter and a half. And now Leonard reaches and comes up with a self-draw. And a chance for the first transition for the Crimson. Leonard into the 8. Shovel shot by Sadrian is off. And Sadrian got caught a little bit in between, switching to her left or going with the quick release shovel. MBS having backup. So Leonard with the flip pass offense with Walsifer and Hannah Grella in the midfield. And you notice how Millburn is not applying a lot of pressure to it. And primarily playing in their customary man-to-man. Grella attempted to turn the corner. And well defended on the edge by Millburn and Ava Guzman defensively. Leonard now on the reset. As Leonard able to dive through the 8, and Leonard is able to finish. Well, Leonard able to get inside the defender initially, and then there was no help to prevent her on the dodge. Leonard with 2 and 2 in the first half on her senior day, 7-2 Crimson. Rebecca Leonard this year noted for adding more assists this season. A year ago, 31 assists. This year, up to 11 here in Game 7. As a sophomore, 41 and 20. But at the top of every opposing defense's scouting report, Reed Snyder will collect an uncontested ground ball. And the Crimson overwhelmingly having the advantage in possessions, and a 7-2 lead as we'll hit the 5-minute mark of this first half. And then Snyder able to throw a rope to Sadrian. Sadrian makes the pass in front, and that's put in. Lauren Koff was thrown open by Sadrian, 8-2. Well, Koff had to reach really high for that pass, but no one was with her. Millburn caught ball watching a bit. That's not an assist that you typically see from that position on the field. Outside the restraining lines. And Sadrian seeing Koff cut and threw it to a spot she got there. And Millburn victimized. First of the game for Lauren Kopf. And her second of the season, when healthy last year, 26-6. Draw control, and it's Millburn that is able to gather one cleanly from Samantha Ryder. But then her pass bounces on Alexandra Chang and picked up by senior Haley Tannen. Haley will be a student next year at Clemson, 4 years on the varsity. Honored before the game with her twin sister Brooke, who is a cross-country runner, and older sister Sophie Tannen played multiple sports in MBS 2 out of the class of 22. Leonard hitching right with an open look. Rebecca Leonard with 3 goals and 5 points in the opening half of her senior day. 9-2 MBS. No help behind the isolated Millburn defender. And Leonard noticing that, she had a lot of momentum going to cage. So MBS has already scored a season-high 9 goals in the first half. Their season-high total in goals coming into this one is 13. This one pushed to the circle, and Isabel Rosner, freshman midfielder that sees a lot of action off the bench for the Millers. And Millburn, for the first time in a while, can run some settled offense as Brooke Skinner deals it back for Ella Chang. Cutting inside for Ali Chang, and that pass was never really open. And Alyssa Benbasat on the outlet. And MBS looking to run and gun. They have a commanding 9-2 lead. Even when they haven't gotten the draw control, they've turned over Millburn soon after, since the early stages. Off the fake feed, then the cut down low, and what a finish! Hannah Mortazavi with a nice return pass from her teammate. From Aiden Varbero, beautifully done, as Varbero never panicked. After Varbero put on a little bit of a fake and found herself open and then returned the ball to Mortazavi. So that's her second of the game. And Hannah coming off of her best game of the season with 3-1 against Notre Dame. Great to meet Hannah beforehand. She's been playing ice hockey goalie for about 10 years, following her older brother who attended in Morristown Baird and played ice hockey. And she'll be playing for the Philadelphia Junior Flyers 19U AAA squad, the highest tier of ice hockey in the United States at that level. As Millburn comes up with a draw. And Ryder on the pickup, and here's Brooke Skinner. Bellotti. And the Millers have not been able to initiate their offense through the Chang twins. Ella Chang now given the clear out as she draws the double. And MBS covers it very well on the back end. No cutter available for her. Junior Casey Siston, and this pass is intercepted, and MBS will turn over Millburn again. It's been a tremendous field game for Reed Snyder defensively. Lexi Sadrian will push with under 2.5 left, first half, and it's been a Crimson explosion. They trailed the game 1-0 and barely had the ball and settled offense for the first 7 minutes or so. Leonard against isolation, against Skinner, finds her cutter and finds another goal. Lauren Kopf for the second time. Leonard able to quarterback through And Millburn again, nowhere to be found, chasing the cutter. Leonard with her 3rd assist of the game, and 2 goals for senior Lauren Kopf. And for Leonard, the 3 assists is already a season high in that category. And in Rebecca Leonard's brilliant career, she has never had a 4-assist game or more. And that stands to occur today, still with 2:01 left first half. As Walsifer draws, Walsifer will be a magnet for it and comes up with the ball herself. And the outlet for Lexi Sadrian. Sadrian on the drive, what a release! Second goal for Lexi Sadrian. And both have showed off her hands. 12-2 Morristown Baird. A sensational quick release where the goalie, Sofia Skalkotos, is probably expecting much more of a windup, and Sadrian is able to just quickly push it and surprise goalies. So her 2nd of the day, and MBS has pushed this now into a running time situation at 12-2 in the first half. Leonard able to capture another draw control in front of Casey Sist off the circle. And the Crimson putting on the finishing touches of their best half of the season. Leonard drops and recovers against the defender, sophomore Alexa Rinsky, making her first career start today, coming off of a good game in that overtime loss to Governor Livingston. So she has earned the opportunity today from Samantha Parlavecchio, and a club lacrosse player through 3D lacrosse. Final 20 seconds, and Morristown Baird perhaps trying to hold for the final look. And a whistle, a foul. Again, it's a running clock situation. Lauren Kopf will be put outside the 12, but it's not an 8-meter, and this will take care of the first half. Rebecca Leonard shining today with 3 goals and 3 assists in the first half. Lexi Sadrian with 2 tremendous goals among the stars for Morristown Baird, celebrating Senior Day 2025 for their 6 graduating seniors. MBS trailed early, but then they made quick work of that to close out the first quarter and then put together a mammoth 9-goal second quarter. We'll break for halftime and be back in 6 minutes with the second half from Play by Play Productions. Morristown Baird with 6 different goal scorers in their best half of the season, and they lead the Millburn Millers 12-2 at halftime, putting the game into a running time situation late in the second quarter. Ralph Bednarczyk back with you from Play-by-Play Productions on the campus of Morristown Baird School in Morristown, New Jersey. So happy to have you with me either live or on demand. MBS at 2-4. Their season high in goals was in a win on the road at DePaul last week on April the 11th. But they had an explosion with 6 different goal scorers, and led by Rebecca Leonard on her senior day, 3 goals and a career high tying 3 assists for the 4-year starter, and signee with Elon in Lacrosse. First team all Independence North, either North or White divisions the last 2 years after being second team all division as a freshman, and could get herself onto one of the top 3 teams in the state in terms of the first, second, or third team all non-publics when the awards are announced later this year. But it has been her passing that has been tremendous, and then the MBS shooting, whether in broken plays or in rhythm plays, has been tremendous. And it started in the circle with Leonard and also Reed Snyder and Kira Walsifer, and Millburn has to find a way to at least get some more 50-50 opportunities. And head coach Samantha Parlavecchio changed it up in the second quarter, putting on Brooke Skinner, but it is still MBS through Walsifer that comes up with the draw control. Leonard, as they try to force her left, Leonard picks up the foul, so the adjustment made by Samantha Parlavecchio to do that with Ava Guzman. However, Leonard still given too much space. So Leonard from the 8. And Leonard, and her shot is partially deflected, and a good job defensively by Skinner just to bother that shot, rather Samantha Ryder. MBS will keep it and a second chance. Walsifer. And Walsifer with 2 goals. Into the 8, Leonard, and then Leonard is stripped. So as Leonard held on to it, 2 good defensive plays made by Samantha Ryder, and the outlet is on target to Alexandra Chang, who's got one of the 2 Millers goals. It's been Ali Chang and Claire Bellotti with both, and unassisted. There is Bellotti, who scored to make it a 5-2 game, and then MBS closed out the half with a 7-goal run. Chang switching to her left hand, and then just kind of lost it on the way to releasing the shot. Alexandra Chang was in good position, and then not much on the bouncer upon switching hands. So it was wide from Alyssa Ben-Bassat. And with the Millers having backup, and as MBS sits on her left hand, it'll be a reset from Ella Chang, and Bellotti was the one bumped. Well, I think if you're head coach Samantha Parlavecchio of Millburn, I think she talked to her team about communicating even better defensively. And they have to be very aggressive on the draw controls. And even if they're committing fouls, they have just been overwhelmingly owned in that area. On the free position. And a quick dart to the front. Casey Sist will end the 7-goal run as Millburn's on the board, and it's 12-3 in the third. Sist with her 12th goal this season. And she's another club lacrosse player for center court lacrosse, and has been coming up with big goals this year, including 2 games ago, 4 goals at Pequannock, and a junior in the first year starting on the first midfield. That makes it 12-3, and Sist is able to put the game into a stopped clock to help Millburn's cause. At running time at 10 goals or more, the clock keeps moving after a goal. And when under, it stops. And draw control, and 2 in a row for Millburn. So Samantha Ryder comes up with it. Ella Chang trying to work herself to the 8, and she is bothered and then broken up. The play is Rebecca Leonard. Leonard just gave her enough of a bump and forcing the ball out. As Leonard sends the pass over the top where MBS can break out. The feed went to Mortazavi. Varbero locates the cutter just off for Lauren Kopf. And Kopf able to retrieve. So MBS with their first real settled possession of this third quarter. Or make that actually their second after turning it over last time. Leonard, this time with Ryder, trying to apply pressure. And then the help came from Izzy Rosner. And Leonard this time not having an angle. Then the feed comes in front. Varbero comes up on the sneak. Curling back behind was Varbero. No one trailed her or met her on the pipe. Second of the game for Aiden Varbero, and it's 13-3. Leonard will get the assist. That's her career best, 4th of a game. And that's now 6 different players with multiple goals for MBS, as they have now tied their season high in goals. A year ago, it was an offense that averaged about an 11.5 goal number per game. That's where they were the last 2 years. And Walsifer with the false start, with Ellis Lombardi put up for the first time to draw. So Millburn changing it up and putting a defender, and with some strength from Lombardi. They're trying to at least slow down Walsifer even outside the circle. Ellis Lombardi at 5'7", probably the tallest Millburn player, as I joked with Samantha Parlavecchio. Here is Bellotti. And Bellotti getting her left hand involved, missing the shot. But Millburn has backup. So Millburn trying to pick up a goal and get the game back out of running time. Rosner's feed into the 8, looking for Ella Chang. As this ball pops up, and Walsifer is able to race forward with it. Checking back is Mortazavi. And MBS just moving the ball quickly and with unison today. Leonard at the edge of the 8. Now Varbero swings for Leonard, trying to turn the corner, does, and some good help there defending from Millburn. A well-timed check from Ellis Lombardi. She's a 2-year starter. Samantha Parlavecchio says she's someone, if I was a player, I wouldn't want to face Ellis Lombardi. Very good defender, uses athleticism from multiple sports. Kopf down low, Leonard in tight, and the save is made on the doorstep by Skalkados. Leonard trying to beat her high to the stick side, and Skalkados is able to hold on to it and make a confident-looking save as Millburn will look for the clear. Bellotti. As Chang approaches, before she's cut off by senior Caroline Price, who will attend school at SMU in the Houston area. One of the 6 seniors honored beforehand. Bellotti, as she gathered the flip pass from Ryder. Brooke Skinner having it go in and out. Skinner in her first year starting. 4 years on the varsity. Millburn has been known for being a soccer town. Coach Robinson on the boys' side, Jason Robinson, consistently contending for Essex County titles, as Alexandra Chang will come up, but under Samantha Parlavecchio and her assistant coach, former head coach Alexandra Gartenberg, they're trying to change that. The youth is a lot more involved. Shot from the wing, save is made. And a quick stick look, that was Zoe Cohen, I believe, on the doorstep. And stop made by Alyssa Benbasat. Transition opportunity, Kopf gets in tight. Well, Kopf able to shield away from the defender, got a good pass. That's 3 goals for Lauren Kopf. Started with the save on the other end. And MBS able to turn defense into offense, their first true transition goal. So now they have scored a season-high 14 today. And the clock running down, running time situation, 90 seconds left in the third. This was a 12-11 win last year by Millburn. And the draw control handled by Brooke Skinner. As Skinner searches, finds Bellotti. Millburn in this quarter has been able to balance out the draw controls. That's a shot from distance that Ryder attempts from 8 meters. Save made by Benbasat. And transition ahead, and here comes Lauren Kopf. With 3 goals up ahead, it's fed down low, and the shot comes from the wing. Tremendous transition for MBS, and that's Emily Reap, the beneficiary. At 15-3. And Reap, a freshman with a third of her career. And she's had to play a bunch with Lauren Kopf missing multiple games. Aiden Varbero has missed 4, and Reap has reaped the benefits of extra playing time. She makes it 15-3 in a running clock situation. We won't get the draw control off before the clock sounds. 15-3 as we go to the 4th. We're back with more Senior Day 2025 at Morristown Beard from Play by Play Productions. Millburn had scored the first goal in the third quarter on a Casey Sist shot before MBS got the next three and put the game back into running time, 15-3. It's a season high in goals for the Crimson, and they've done it in 3 quarters. Ralph Bednarczyk with you on Play-by-Play Productions. From Morristown Bayard celebrating Senior Day 2025, and the Crimson at 2-4, dealing with key injuries in the early season, and perhaps have put together all their potential into the first half when they put the game into a running clock late second quarter. And now can the Millers play a good fourth quarter to take something from this? Draw control was won by Samantha Ryder. And Zoe Cohen trying to work her way through. Cohen, a sophomore attack, as she picks up a foul and is going to go to the 8-meter. Cohen's played a bunch, second year in the varsity, 5 goals and 2 assists. And Cohen will fire the bouncer, and that's off the stick of Ben Bissant. Zoe Cohen with her first of the game, 6th of the season. And for Millburn, they have 3 seniors on the attack, and the question for Samantha Parlavecchio has been, how do I fill out our top 7? Claire Bellotti has shown that she is a shooter on the attack position of the right side, so that's settled after the Millers graduated 2 tremendous midfielders from a year ago that did so much ball handling. And Maggie Trantniak, who's playing now at Muhlenberg, was first team All-Division, and Meadow Matroni, who's not playing in college. But those 2 were vastly responsible for all the ball handling, the decisions made on the field. So that's been the adjustment for Millburn. How to drive and dodge from the midfield to accentuate the decisions that the attack can make upon catching a ball off of a rotating defense, and that's where the Changs and Guzman can particularly be effective. And Cohen can be a factor in that. And as she grows, and Millburn could put together an attack and get close to some of the numbers that they were scoring last year. Right now, they're actually averaging more goals per this year than last year. Cohen, and Cohen with some strength will pick up a foul from Haley Tannen. So Zoe Cohen back to the 8. Nearly the same spot from this left hash. Cohen got a good jump and then uses the bouncer. 2 quick goals from Zoe Cohen of Millburn. 15-5. Third time this year that Cohen has scored 2 goals. First free position finish for the Millers. And Millburn will try to build off of that by coming up with a draw control, and it's back to Brooke Skinner against Rebecca Lenner of MBS. And this one outside the circle, and it is Samantha Ryder. First time that Millburn has put together back-to-back goals today. Skinner had eyes to the front. Guzman, who has not been involved much as an initiator. Chang, and that ball carries through. Well, Alexandra Chang was looking to connect with her sister Ella Chang on the cut, and the pass carried through. 3 straight goals to make it 15-6. Timeout, Morristown Bayard. Still plenty of time, 8:23 to go in the fourth quarter. So as Alyssa Benbassan is tracking the ball, Alexandra Chang trying to throw her sister open on the cut. And while the pass missed, it went into the goal. So MBS finding themselves here in a time to regroup, and Millburn has made the adjustments, and the Millers, after stringing together back-to-back draw control wins, and they've gotten Zoe Cohen to the 8-meter, and here they come, perhaps too little too late, but 15-6 now, and Millburn has gotten the game out of a running clock. Offensive coordinator, volunteer assistant Pat Leonardis, who's over on the sideline for Millburn, is also the varsity basketball head coach. Very offensive-minded, comes from a football background, being a football offensive coordinator. And Millburn has been focused on spreading the ball around and not having just a couple of key ball carriers the way they had it the last couple of years, and asking for movement. And today they just haven't possessed it enough. And when you ask coaches, most coaches will tell you their area of improvement is getting better on the draw and just possessing it. But for this Millburn team, and when they have won the draw, they've shown that they can have quality possessions. But they went through a long drought from the late second quarter through the first half of barely having the ball and getting into some kind of a rhythm with it. And mainly due to the work of Leonard, Walsifer, and Snyder. Brooke Skinner on it again as she fires it looking for Ryder, but stepping in front of it is Leonard of MBS. So Morristown Baird with the first possession in a while. And Leonard will hold it up as we'll hit 8 minutes to go. And we'll see if Millburn will be even more aggressively defensively. Leonard, pass to help defender, weaves through, and Leonard has her fourth. 16-6. And for Rebecca Leonard, 3 out of her 4 goals have been similar to that, where Millburn attempts to pressure her well outside beyond the 12-meter. And once she gets a full head of steam, she is beating the second defender and even the third defender to a spot and getting to the front of cage. Rebecca, also a 4-year starter in soccer, even as a starting center back as a freshman. Last fall was honorable mention All Independence Division, has played varsity basketball too, and greatly involved in Crimson success during her time here. Snyder is the trail player before she'll leave it for Walsifer. And Reed Snyder looks like she'll get an offensive run, as MBS has put the game back into running time. And nearly a clean trail check executed by Millburn and Ellis Lombardi. Again, no shot clock in the state of New Jersey, something that could occur in the very near future. There's a boys lacrosse tournament that will be acting as the de facto tournament of champions this year that will employ the shot clock. Here's Hannah Grella. Grella's shot might have been a pass, kind of caught in between there, as she had Emily Reap in front. And MBS will save the possession with Koff outside here for Leonard. New York State is putting in the shot clock this year among the public schools after Maryland and the private schools have had it for a few years. Kopf on the cut, and Kopf has her fourth. Leonard again on the draw and dump will collect her 5th assist. And Lauren Koff's cutting today has been noteworthy. 26-6 last year for Lauren. And has been significant for Lindsay Lafferman as she has watched her help out the younger attackers, but has pretty good vision on the field. And it's not just having vision on the field when you have the ball, but when you don't have the ball is just as important. And Koff's cutting ability is greatly responsible for her 4 goals today. Draw control for Reed Snyder in the circle. And MBS have led by as many as 12. They lead by 11 now. And they put the game into a running time situation late in the second quarter. Millburn was able to battle back and get out of it a couple of times. But once the game is 10 or more goals, the clock will continue to run until the losing team gets it to 9 and under. Leonard finds another cutter. Shot that hit the pipe. Leonard able to swing a nice pass in front. That was Hannah Grella on the doorstep. Here is Walsifer, and Walsifer shooting against the grain. Getting the stick down and perhaps getting a little piece of that was Sofia Skalkotos. Skalkotos made 16 saves against Ridge in a good showing for Millburn, the way they battled against a big Group 4 school. And that's always very good in sports in Ridge. That was an 8-4 game. As we'll get a whistle. Always a very athletic team is Ridge, particularly girls soccer, carry over to basketball and lacrosse. Walsifer off the 8. Nice placement. Third of the game for Kira Walsifer. 18-6 with MBS continuing to shoot the ball well. But Millburn was able to battle back well against Ridge in that game. Trailed 5-0 end of 1 before making it an 8-4 game. And then dropped the game at the hands of Riverdale in the next game where they made too many mistakes, unforced errors, losing it 8-7. As Millburn, after this result, is going to drop to 3-5 in the year, including 2 one-goal losses, and one of them in overtime. So for Samantha Parlavecchio, having graduated the 2 sensational midfielders off last year, they're still trying to plug those holes and roles to see how they can come up with possessions to make the experience and talent on their attack group get enough possessions where they could really command tempos of games the way MBS has today. Skinner. And meanwhile today for the Crimson, they came in allowing nearly 8 goals per game. The defensive end is the area that they've been trying to hone in on and trying to also get healthy and get everybody to be on the same page defensively. They gave up 16 in Game 3 at Columbia when they were missing key players, 14 last time out against Notre Dame. And not making offenses just work enough for some of those. But today, MBS has been very good defensively. They've caused turnovers, and whether it's been their senior group and just speeding up Millburn today, where Millburn went through long stretches where they were just never comfortable. Feed, then the cut, then the hockey-style shot by Jess Byrne, who gets an offensive run. That is off target for the final half minute. Byrne, a senior that is a 4-year starter defensively, a 12-sport letter winner in soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. Jess Byrne, what a tremendous athlete. She'll attend school at Providence. Here's Hannah Grella. Or rather, check that. That's a shot that Skolkotos will make the save on. in the final seconds. And Morristown Baird puts together their finest showing of the season. They celebrate Senior Day 2025, scoring a season-high 18 goals. And they defeat Millburn today 18-6. They put together a huge second quarter, outscoring Millburn 9-2 in the period, and they run away with this one significantly. Senior Rebecca Leonard on her senior day, 4 goals and a career-high 4 assists for Leonard to pace the Crimson and getting the job done inside the circle with Snyder and Walsifer, where MBS certainly had the advantage and the heavy advantage through the middle portion of the game in the key statistic of draw controls. Morristown Baird improves to 3-4 in the season, now 2-0 in the New Jersey Interscholastic Girls Lacrosse League Independence White Division. Millburn taking the loss, now 3-5 in the year, 0-2 in the Independence White. Leonard with 4-4. Walsifer was terrific. She had 3. Lauren Kopf with 4 goals. Lexi Sadrian also with a pair, and 2 for Hannah Mortazavi among the leaders today for Morristown Baird, as MBS had 7 different goal scorers to lead them to an 18-6 victory. Congratulations to the senior class of 2025 from MBS Girls Lacrosse, and all of them to seniors Lauren Kopf and Rebecca Leonard, Jess Byrne, Haley Tannen, Evie Lisk, and also Caroline Price. That'll do it for everybody here from Play by Play Productions. They're ringing the bell here at MBS in a big way. 18-6 is our final score. My name is Ralph Bedorchik saying so long, and thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you next time from Play by Play Productions.